Well, welcome to another edition of Referee's Corner right here on IslandStats.com. I'm your host, Earl Beerston, and joining me today is none other than Mr. Martin Wire. Martin, you're just back from Costa Rica, along with Garrick Svensson. You guys done a refereeing, what was it, technical
and fitness
instructors
course.
Right. That's right. What are some of the new exciting things they're talking about when it comes to the technical side?
So one of the key themes this year actually is previously the fitness side and the technical side, obviously both key components of what referees do. Mm-hmm. They've almost done separate things. They've done separate courses. So we would go there and the fitness people would go off and do fitness stuff and the technical do technical. This year they're placing a lot of emphasis on integration between the two.
Okay.
So when we do, for example, all the practical exercises out on the field of play with officials, we tie in the two components. There's a fitness element as well as a technical element.
Okay.
So we're trying to make the practical training as realistic, as close to match play as you can.
Okay. Now, how many? There had to be a ton of people on this course.
There's about 100 of us.
How do you think the assessors evaluate when you have so many people trying to obtain the same goal? I guess. How do you think that they manage that? Because you want to make sure you maximize and get as much out of it as possible. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to be ones that left behind, kind of thing.
So on the actual course itself, there was 100 of us, but that was actually split down. The course was split down into fitness instructors with their own set of instructors doing that, which Garrick Svensson was on. The technical side, which was the largest component, but then they even split the technical side into English and Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So they did the same course as us, but entirely in Spanish.
Right. Okay.
And our course was entirely in English.
Okay.
But we worked a lot with the fitness. So there was, on each separate part of the course, there were 3 or 4 very highly qualified, experienced FIFA referees.
Okay. Right.
We had SA there, who's an ex-World Cup referee. He refereed 4 or 5 World Cups, and he's widely regarded as, not just in CONCACAF, but in FIFA as a whole, as the top referee instructor. So just to have him there and listen to his experience and knowledge of how to do training was invaluable.
Now, what are some of the things you picked up? Because you've been officiating for quite some time.
I know I don't look it, but yeah, I have.
So what are some of the things you picked up on the technical side that you can actually bring back and implement into the local side of here?
I think the big thing I got from it, I went there like a sponge just to soak everything up, because there was people from Canada, USA, all the Central American and the whole of the Caribbean, and little old Bermuda represented by the 2 of us.
Right.
What I picked up, a lot of it was the emphasis, CONCACAF especially, and FIFA as a whole, but for referees, is they use 2 words. Every technical lesson that we did with the videos, the first consideration, as they call it, we had to have was understanding of the game. They call it just called football understanding, with the 2 words virtually at the top of every slide.
Okay.
And then what they're trying to get us across as instructors to then pass on to our member association officials is, it's great. Anyone can sit and learn the 17 laws of the game. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can read the book, you can understand the 17 laws of the game. The emphasis, again, all the time is now on interpretation, because the laws are subjective a lot of the time.
Yes.
What I may consider a foul, you may not.
Right.
And it's how you interpret it. So we had to have this football understanding and trying to get our officials, if you've played the game to a good level, you understand it, but some of them haven't.
Right.
And it's trying to understand what the players are trying to achieve, get inside their heads somewhat, what they're trying to do to help you in your control of the game. So there was a lot of emphasis on football understanding, which I found really fascinating.
Oh, okay. You manage games very well. When I say manage games very well, you always seem to have a way of controlling environments.
Okay.
Have you kind of helped others locally to get to that point? I know it's difficult.
It's extremely difficult, and yes, I like to think that some of the senior officials on the island, myself, Lyndon, Anthony, Francis, Garrick, refereeing is personality. A lot of it is, as I said earlier, you can know the laws of the game, that's fine. A lot of it is personality, and man management skills, and some people have that and some don't. But I'm trying to explain to referees, and again, there's no different from the course that we did down in Costa Rica, where we have very high level. There's lots of guys that have refereed in World Cups, FIFA assistants, referees, now instructors. We all say the same. Why make the game difficult for yourself?
Right.
And that's the message I'd like to get across to the officials out there, of all ages, from the 15, 16-year-olds to us old people that are still doing it. Why do you make it difficult? If you can explain a decision quickly,
yes,
and get across to the players that you're only human, you're doing what you think is right, that quells a lot of the dissent.
Right.
You don't have to be best friends with everybody.
Right.
I mean, Bermuda's a small place, as we know, and everyone knows everyone.
Yes.
But it's just having that respect for each other. I understand that as a player, I played the game to a good level. You're passionate and you want to win, and the will to win, and the idea is to score goals, and I get that. But you also understand my aim as referee is not to ruin the game.
Right.
So if I make a decision, there's a reason for it. If I explain that to you, then 9 times out of 10 it works. They might not agree with me.
Right.
But at least I've given them.
You've given them the explanation, and you've said it in a manner which is very believable.
Right. Bluffing. I try and make it believable, mate. You might be bluffing some of the time.
Very believable, and to that point where they say, okay, well maybe he is right.
We have to, again, the link into Futura 3 course that we did, everything we have to refer back, and we're trying to do that with officials in Bermuda, everything that we do, every decision that we make, we have to be able to back that up with the laws of the game.
Right.
So even trying to get our fellow officials to use the correct terminology, they always say, oh, there was no intent. Well, intent isn't in the laws of the game because we can't read people's minds. Right. I don't know whether you were actually trying to break his leg or not, or what you were trying to do. I can only go on what I see.
Right.
The laws of the game say whatever it might be, careless, reckless, excess.
Right.
So trying to get them to use the laws of the game to back it up, because it adds that credibility to it. So when you explain to players and coaches your decision, if you're using the right terminology, it helps them to say he or she actually know what they're talking about.
Right.
So maybe I did see it wrong.
Right. You've been here how many years now?
8.5 years.
Time flies.
It does it ever. I had hair.
But over the years, what has changed for you, officiating wise, on Island?
I'm getting older. The players are getting younger. It's probably the main one. And what has changed is, I think that certainly in the last couple of years, I've seen a real difference from the officiating side in the professionalism. And I'm not denigrating what happened in the past. I mean, people did a great job in difficult circumstances. Of course, it's well publicised that we suffer from a shortage of officials.
Yes.
But we've had in the last sort of 12 to 18 months a really good crop of youngsters coming through. Some of them are still playing football, and that's fine.
Right.
But they seem to be enjoying it, and they're coming to all the training sessions, and they're wanting to learn and listen to some of the older heads, and pick up some of the things that maybe we don't do so well and discard it.
Right.
Maybe take the things we do well. So I'm seeing a really good thing. Crenson does a great job for the referees, trying to get us to be a bit more professional. What was really, again, a thing that hit it home for me, again going back to Costa Rica, on day one, so you've got 100 people in a room. Most of them don't know each other. So 100 people from all over North America, Caribbean. And there's Garrick and I sat at the back. And the head of refereeing in CONCACAF, the main man, Brian Hall, the big chief, stood up. And he was sort of welcoming everyone and saying what we're here for. We've got to take all these skills back to our member associations.
Right.
And then we didn't know this. And he just said, can my 2 Bermudian guys stand up? So Garrick and I stood up. What have we done wrong?
You're late.
Yeah, well, we weren't actually on time. We got a policeman and an ex-military. So we were on time. We sort of stood there tentatively, stood up in front of everyone.
Right.
Some very experienced heads, and he said, "This is a classic example of what we're trying to achieve in CONCACAF." He said, "You've got Bermuda, a smaller member association, 10, 11, two divisions of 10, 11 clubs, and a good youth setup coming through." He said, and we've managed to get 2 of their senior officials over. It doesn't happen very often. I mean, Lyndon last did the technical side a few years ago.
Right.
But all these associations provide everyone every year. We haven't done that.
Right.
And he sort of said, "This is a great example. Bermuda should be an example of now what you're trying to achieve." And they've realised they've got to get better and get more professional. And it's culminated in having 2 of their guys on this course. Because you don't apply for it, you're invited.
Oh, okay.
It's a big kudos to go to it.
Right.
So, we bid for places, and if they say your member association or your officiating standards or what you're trying to do isn't good enough, not everyone gets a place.
No, that's true.
So for me and Garrick to stand, I was like, I think he was complimenting you on what we did.
Right.
So that reinforced what I said a minute ago, that I think I have seen a real change, and I really have seen a change. And we'd love to get more younger people on board because we have Teshon now on the FIFA list, as we know.
Right.
But I'm identifying, I mean, some of our senior guys, we're identifying 2 or 3 others, teenagers and early 20s, who, if they have the ambition, they certainly have the ability.
Right.
It's the commitment now and the work you have to go through to get to that level.
It's a scary time because they're 2 or 3 years away from that.
Yes.
And many things in this small country can happen.
Of course it can. And I get that. But if you want to get to the top or that level of officiating, you start early. It's like being a football player.
Yeah.
You start early. You soak up all the knowledge and experience. And then if you're physically fit in your early 20s, like Teshon did, you get on you.
Yeah.
You see Canada is all over the place.
Yeah. Now, yesterday, I watched a bit of the match where you had Antoine Augustus on one side and
here we go. You're going to pick apart my performance now.
No.
Yes.
And Kyrie.
Yeah,
Richards on the other side.
Yeah.
Now that you have what you consider a senior AR and a very junior AR.
Yep.
How do you, as a person in the middle, work communication-wise? Because although you want to be consistent, you understand that you have a junior and you have a senior on opposite sides.
Oh yeah, and Kyrie is a prime example of somebody that I personally think has the ability to go a long way. Her, at the age, she just turned 16, I believe, her understanding of the game, and I mentioned football understanding, which comes with experience, but her understanding of the game, and yesterday, after the game, we have a debrief, the 3 of us. How did I do? Did I miss you? And I tell them how they went. And I had to say, Kyrie, I found her performance flawless. I thought she had a superb game. And I'm not just saying that for the camera. I said it to her, and I said it to her mum afterwards in front of Antoine and everyone else. So you pretty much brief is key as an official. I let my ARs know what I expect of them, what they expect from me, what I want from them. Quite clearly, I deliberately put Antoine bench side.
Right.
I mean, generally speaking, those 2 teams don't cause me any problems. But I knew, I wanted Kyrie just to concentrate on her game without any, having to do substitutions. And so I trust Antoine implicitly, and he did a great job yesterday. He's a senior guy, totally trustworthy. And I didn't want to treat Kyrie any differently. I had in the back of my mind that I'm going to be slightly more protective of her.
Right.
Players mouth off and complain about stuff. We get it, that's football. Antoine is big enough and ugly enough to deal with that.
Right.
I just want to make that Kyrie
can handle that.
She didn't need it. Every call that she made was there was not one that even me in the middle went, I'm not sure about that, Kyrie, but I'm going to go with you. She was spot on everything that she did. And the players, not one player gave her a hard time. There wasn't even a look across. When she gave an offside, or more importantly from her, she didn't give an offside correctly because the player never played the ball and she waited. They have this wait and see principle, which comes with experience. Now, if yesterday is anything to go by, and that's the second game I've done with Kerry. If her performance over the 2 games I've done with her, she's got that already. I want to be. I look at my ARs all the time. Whenever I restart play after a goal or whatever, I give them a thumbs up. Everything cool. Lots of eye contact. I make them look at me because we're then establishing a rapport.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
And Kyrie's very good at that. I'm you okay? Oh, good. She says, yeah, everything's fine. And she had a superb game.
Yeah, I often look, especially when you see a senior referee in the middle, you look at the ARs and you want to make sure that everybody's kind of in tune with one another, because over the years doing this, talking to you, the officials, you want to be a team when you go out there.
We have to be. Yeah.
You don't want that chain kind of broken, because if one link breaks, it could destroy the whole game kind of thing. We want to make sure that people understand that you need help. There's a need for officials.
Oh, definitely.
At all levels.
Yes.
Because we're not getting any younger.
No. Having to do, if you're being asked to do 2 or 3 games a week, it's really, they shouldn't happen that way. In an ideal world, every member association, and we discussed this down in Costa Rica as a whole group, that you should be training all week for 1 game.
Right.
Now, I get it.
That's what the players do.
So when we ask our referees, and you've got that spread of 15, 16-year-olds and 50-year-olds and above in some cases. If you're asking us to do 2 or 3 games a week, that's not fair. Because, as you just said, you don't ask a player to, because we're committed. We run up and down the pitch.
Right.
It's not like standing there. We're doing stuff, and strains in our body. Yes, it's not a contact game like the footballers, but we have stresses and strains.
Yeah.
I ache after a game.
Right.
You're asking me to do that 2 or 3 times a week. At some point, I'm going to break down.
Right.
But so are the youngsters,
Yes.
and they're going to get frustrated and give up. Then there's no referees.
Last question. What's your take on the VAR?
I get asked that quite a lot, funnily enough. I think VAR, if used correctly, is a wonderful tool. And what future? I'm going back to Costa Rica. At the beginning of Costa Rica, at the first day of the course, we had a guy called Manuel who came over from FIFA headquarters in Zurich, and he's one of the bigwigs. And he ran or was very high up in the management of VAR at the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed us all these slides, which sadly, because they had names and statistics on, we weren't allowed to get copies from. And he proved that VAR did not. Everyone had this fear that VAR's going to ruin the game,
Mm-hmm.
and he proved that VAR in the World Cup did not ruin the game.
Right.
There was twice as many penalties awarded in this World Cup than any previous one.
Right.
I can't remember exact numbers, but it was about twice as many. But only 2 or 3 of them were VAR decisions.
Okay.
As in, the referee had already given it,
Right.
VAR just confirmed he was right.
Right. Right.
Not as in, you got it wrong.
Wrong,
Yes.
and then-
So penalties awarded,
Right.
VAR didn't ruin the game in that respect. So because VAR was only used in the World Cup for penalty area decisions,
Mm-hmm.
wrong, if I identify the wrong player and give the player the wrong
Right.
cases of mistaken identity for that, and red cards. I mean, it was only used for 3 or 4 things,
Right.
not for the whole game.
Right.
And the referee still had 100% control of the game, as in all 5 states. The guy in they showed us this live video of the VAR room and all the people sat around the screens,
Right.
but only one of them is mic'd up to the referee.
Right.
And he doesn't say to him, "You got it wrong, change your mind." He says, "You might want to have a look at that."
Right.
And that's when the ref goes to the screen, and there's all this thing like delaying the game. And he showed us live video that one referee in the World Cup game awarded a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And within 2 or 3 seconds, the guy mic'd up to him, and all the screens were saying, "You might want to," because the game hadn't restarted.
Right. Right.
You might want to review that.
Right.
Didn't tell him he was wrong.
Yes.
So they timed it, and it took him 7 seconds to jog from the penalty area to the screen.
Right.
4 seconds or 5 seconds to look at it and actually realise he got it wrong.
Right.
And then another couple of seconds to run back on and go, the screen for VAR, the signal, and said, "No, drop ball."
Right.
So a total of 20, 25 seconds, which is nothing in a
But the
game.
ball was already dead.
The ball's already dead, so
Yeah,
you can just
yeah.
restart it however you want
Right.
because you haven't carried on.
Right.
So VAR worked because, that was a wrong decision. The referee, human error, his angle, he thought it was a foul and
Right.
it wasn't.
Right.
If you didn't have VAR, and it's World Cup, which is a big game,
Could have cost the team.
that costs the team.
Yeah.
And no referee at any level, junior football, senior football, the World Cup, wants to make a wrong decision that impacts the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Martin, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Always
Appreciate
a
it.
pleasure with you, mate.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, folks, there you have it. Referee's Corner right here on IslandStats.com. Join us next week, Monday at 5:30, where we have more local referees right here on IslandStats.com.